Go to Australia and the rest of the world. It's you're watching Bursha Chahira from Australia, from Adelaide. I'm bringing you something into the Bursha space. How to make mullah, how to make money online. With my man Sean Logan. He's a kind of my first mentor when I started online. So we're gonna talk about how he started and what are the things you guys can do to start online, and how can you get into cryptocurrencies, the stuff like that. Let me see if I can bring him online. Just give me a second. Alright, I think I had a little bit connection issues. I'm just gonna check Sean if he's on, and then we can start moving forward. On in a minute. It'd be a fantastic. I just invited him, and let's see if he can come on live. We can start talking. Sean, I invited you, and it's coming it's coming up that I invited you, and you should be coming up soon. Hey William, how are you, mate? Okay, let's try it again.
All right, can you see me now?
Man, we did it, man.
All right, we got on.
That's fantastic, man. I don't know. I sent you an invite before, but I don't know, for some reason it wasn't it's showing inviting, but it wasn't showing me that you're coming on. Now. This is fantastic, my man. How you doing?
Good, man. Just out here hanging out in Las Vegas. Just had a crazy weekend.
Beautiful. All right, guys. This is the first time I'm doing an interview. I haven't done anything like I interviewed anybody before. So I'm just gonna roll in, and then I'm with my man Sean Logan. So let me talk about a little bit that why I started this, and how we're gonna roll in with the interview. The reason I started, a lot of people are seeing what I watch videos, that are the people interviewed the people already successful, they're already there, and I decided this is like a my version of Busha version of doing stuff. Then I thought I'm gonna interview people who are in making. This man is in the making of he's the next line of a millionaire in the cryptocurrency. So and any other people I'm gonna bring on the same thing, like they who are in the making, they are in their journey. And what we're going to talk about is that, the challenges you face when you start out, how do you overcome those challenges? And also, and then the people who are afraid to start off the idea they have, or they don't know where to start. My aim is to bring people like my man Sean Logan, to tell them how they can start off, and then start rolling their, whether it's online or offline, however they want to do it. So this is my man Sean Logan, who's a model, who's a freepreneur, don't like to be get into 9 to 5. He like his freedom. Recently he's roaming around Mexico, and he's loving a life, and he loves to jump from the cliff into the water. What else he does? He's a little bit playboy as well. Follow him on Snapchat and Instagram. You can see it. And he does skiing as well. Oh man, I'm following you, bro. I just watch every single video of yours. All right, Sean, I'm gonna start off. So what I'm gonna do is, Sean, I'm gonna let you start off because I won't shut up otherwise. My aim is to the challenges you have when you're starting off, and also I'm gonna roll out the questions step by step. So first of all, um, my man, welcome to my channel. I really appreciate it. You took the time to come on board. And the first question is, who is Sean Logan?
Okay. Well, hey man, thanks for having me on. Definitely glad to have connected with you and be on your live stream, man. This is really cool. Um, well, basically, who am I? I'm just I'm kind of like I'm an action sports junkie. Grew up in Southern California. You know, I was always into like bike riding and skating and surfing and the action sports scene. And that's actually how I got introduced to this thing called residual income, which my parents never taught me about, my teachers in school never taught me about. And basically, what happened was I was starting to ride bikes professionally, doing stunt work on bikes, and I started doing stunts in television commercials, and the commercials when you do a union commercial or any kind of union television job,
Yeah.
they pay you over and over again every time the commercial airs. And I was like, wow, like that's so much better than working like 8 hours a day over and over again to make money. It's like, why don't I just keep doing things that will pay me residual income? So after years and years of riding bikes, I eventually I was like, well, like, what other ways can I make residual income? So I got introduced to different things like network marketing companies and stuff like that. And then one of my friends, to Alvin Centillo, he introduced me to these things called rev shares or advertisement revenue sharing programs.
That's how I got into you,
Which I
man.
started. What's
I said that's how I got
oh,
to know you, brother.
yeah, so my buddy introduced me to these things, and he was like, "Hey, look at this. This is another cool way to make residual income." And I was like, "All right, sure." So I started using these things and making some money with them. And then basically everyone is using this payment processor called PayPal. And PayPal started like freezing up people's accounts and doing all this stuff. And then, they had like high fees. So then everyone switched over to this thing called Bitcoin. And
Yeah.
I started getting paid commissions in the form of Bitcoin. And then that opened a whole nother opportunity to start making more residual income. So I don't know. I'm just this person that like is really into just learning how to build residual income so that I can like have freedom in life and travel and go wherever I want and just have adventures and have fun, And
And I
yeah,
can
I mean
see
that's
that. No, I can see that, man. You don't need a freedom. You have a freedom.
what was that? You were breaking up a little bit on that last part.
Okay, I said you don't need a freedom. You already have a freedom.
Yeah, man, definitely. All the online marketing stuff has helped me get a lot more freedom in life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, John, Sean, I want to talk about that. You mentioned that how you started online. How was your experience to when you started online? Like, how was your experience that it was? It, does it motivate you to make more money? Like you told me that you start off as the commercials. And I also saw that you one of the song I checked out on your YouTube where you were model in that song. I don't know who it was. I think it's a more R&B. Was that a first when you started or?
Oh, the music videos?
That's right. Yeah.
What you're talking about?
Yeah, that's right. That
Yeah, I
yeah.
have. Yeah, I posted. I think a couple of the music videos, but that was when I was doing the stunt work. It would all. kind of it's like the commercial, the music video stuff, it all kind of tied in together. So it's like, one gig would usually open up opportunities to do another one. But I used to do a lot of that stuff when I lived down in LA. It was really fun.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Sean, what are the challenges you faced becoming online marketer, and then how did you overcome those challenges?
Okay, well, the biggest challenge that I face, and I think it's the biggest challenge that everyone faces when they first start doing any kind of online business, is actually getting people to join your business. That's like the number one challenge that most people face.
Yep.
And one that I learned how to do, which helped me overcome that challenge, was start making YouTube videos. And in the YouTube videos, I would like record myself giving the business presentation or explaining, the marketing plan, or offering some kind of value or educating people in some way, shape, or form through video marketing on YouTube. And that's by far been like one of the biggest things that has helped me, start actually getting people to join my business, was learning how to do video marketing.
So, like, the thing was that a hard for you to actually get into YouTube? Like, how did you feel? Because I guess because you were doing commercial, because you're already on TV. So, everybody has that. When I started watching you, you're my first online mentor. That's how I start off. You gave me a lot of tips, and the training you have I've gone through. That was just really helpful. What you did, like my question is like when you started, was there a hesitation like to recording yourself, or if there was, how did you overcome that? I understand that you have a little bit background because of the commercial side of it, but uh, did you have that challenge? Did you face that challenge when you start recording yourself, or?
Well, to be honest, I was already pretty comfortable like speaking in front of a camera, being on camera. That is something I'm used to. But what I wasn't very used to is being that, quote unquote, business coach kind of person. That was something that I had to work on because, I grew up in the action sports scene, partying, acting crazy, doing whatever. But then it's like all of a sudden now I have to like start explaining these marketing plans and talking about this stuff. And like I had never gone to like um, college for business or anything like that. So there was like, a learning curve that I kind of had to go through to build up confidence in order to like, get in front of a camera and start speaking about something that I had never really put much time and effort into previously. So yeah, it was definitely a learning curve. I mean, some of like the videos that I made when I first got started were horrible. I would go back and watch them and just look at like wow, like I can't believe I actually posted that on the internet. And then even like in the comments, like people will like start talking shit, like say negative things about you in comments sometimes. So yeah, those are just some things that happen to me. And sometimes people will just give you negative energy and try to tell you, oh, it's stupid to try to be an entrepreneur, or oh, this be your own boss stuff, that's just a joke, you should go get a job. There's always someone somewhere out there trying to tell you something negative or trying to discourage you in some way, shape, or form.
I guess, Sean, that comes under the people who's sitting on the sideline. It's like when you've seen it, like the people play sports, and the people who's sitting on the sideline watching, they can say he should have done this, she should have done because they're sitting outside, right? They're not into the game.
Yeah.
They're not doing it. So I guess it's the same thing. It's easy to write a comment for somebody. They're not doing the right, or you're not doing the right thing, you should be doing this. But I guess the only person should give a feedback who already doing it, who actually into the game, and they have an impact on the people. I think they have the authority to say something. But if somebody never done it, I don't think we should be worried about. Which is I guess I'm pretty sure you don't give a damn either, right? So um, so like with the presentation, like I saw your lot of videos, man. Like it's you're saying that it was it wasn't the videos you posted, but it was great, man. Like even I saw your the first videos you start off. It looks to you because you grow, like you grow in that period for a year, and then you say, shit, I was like that. But when you grow, and then you look back, and then you say, oh, I could have done better. But the person who's starting off, for them is still great, right? And your videos and what you post, the training you do is fantastic, man. I got a lot of respect for you, man, for that, because and when I was starting off, you helped me a lot. You told me which the recording camera to use, and what I can do, and how can when we started with the rev share, what are the things I can talk about, how can I add value to people's life, things like that. Like as I said, I started, I'm not bad at 240, I think 241 subscribers, all organic, so I'm pretty happy with that. Mate, you got a big following. I think is it nearly 7,000 subscribers on your YouTube now?
Yeah, I mean it's not like that big compared to a lot of other YouTubers, but the thing is it's like when you start an online marketing business, you don't need to have like, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers to make decent money. You can make decent money with a few hundred subscribers as long as if those few hundred subscribers are active and you're all communicating and they're joining you in business, that's a few hundred people is a really good sized network to generate a significant amount of income. And just with a few hundred subscribers on your channel that are active and joining you in business and learning from you and duplicating in the network, that would most likely bring in enough income for someone to be able to quit their 9-to-5 job and have more freedom in life. So you don't need to have this big celebrity like following. Really, even just getting to your first 100 subscribers is probably going to start making you a good amount of extra money. So, don't get discouraged by seeing these huge YouTube accounts and thinking like, oh, you have to just be this big YouTube celebrity to make all this money, because you really don't.
I guess there's a really good point. I think it's an inspiration for the people who starting up online. That I remember saying to my wife, I said to her, "Hey Tina, I only have 9 subscribers." She said, "Don't worry, the people follow." You know what I mean? I'll just keep adding value, and from there I went 100, 200, and I said it's 241. Now it's just beautiful. Hey, Mojo Master, my man, thank you for coming on board. Aman, thank you for coming on board as well. All right, another question, my man. What your take on taking massive action equal to massive result? Because Tony Robbins talk about it a lot, and I believe in it too. And my man, Mojo Master, the Michael Johnson from here, Adelaide, he is a transformational expert, a leading transformational expert in Australia. And he talks about a lot as well. And my mentors, Jack and Aaron, they talk about the same thing with the massive action equal to massive results. And then I want to take your take on what do you think about, my man, on this this idea.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think massive action is it's like the most crucial thing in the beginning, because right now, like when I'm speaking in terms of online marketing, right now, like we live in a world that is completely just decentralized with connectivity and data. So I mean, now it's like everyone has a smartphone, everyone has a laptop, anyone can go to the store and pick up a video camera and start creating content and posting it online. So the entire internet is just flooded with people's content. And the only way that you're going to get enough momentum to stand out in that flooded crowd is to take massive action. There's this entrepreneur that I follow. I'm sure you've heard of him. His name's Grant Cardone, but he wrote this book
Oh, my
called the
man,
10x.
my man.
He wrote this book called the 10x Rule, and he has this whole philosophy called the 10x philosophy, which basically has to do with massive action. And the philosophy goes like this: it's like, however much work you think that you need to do to start getting results in your business, multiply that times 10, and then you're going to start getting the results. So, if you've only got 10 videos on your YouTube channel, make it your goal to have 100 videos on your YouTube channel, and then see what happens to your business.
Man, that's my man. But I totally agree. You gave a golden nuggets here that, that make perfect sense that if you think you done it 10 videos and then no results, if you do 100 videos, then you see what happens. I totally agree. I totally agree. For that, how in the MPCA when we're doing a rev share, I done I think 54 videos on that one. You're not gonna believe people still that rev share is gone. People still joining me. I was like, wait, man, that rev share ain't even here yet. Right, it's gone, but people still, because I think it's because there's so many out there, and you getting a result after 2 or 3 months, which is fantastic. And also, as you said, the Grant Cardone, and what he talks about is dominance, right? To dominate the place, which is you explained with the 10x, right? And what he was talking about is it's just not the dominant, like to dominate somebody, to actually dominate the space. Put your stuff everywhere, whether it's a LinkedIn, whether it's a YouTube, Facebook, anyone go anywhere, you there. You dominate the space, not dominate the people, to dominate the space which you have become the authority for, like yourself, like an online marketer. I can see, like the groups we joined in the Facebook, like a Bitcoin groups. I can see every single day you at least post maybe 20, the one I joined with you, but the other groups as well, maybe I don't know how many you post. Bang, 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 Sean Logan shared this. That's you taking every single day. I've seen you taking action every single day, what you do, and you're putting out there, which is, I think, which is something which is absolutely great. Sean, I'm going to talk about a little bit because the people who are on my Facebook, I'm educating in terms of Bitcoin, right? Because that's my major focus. The coming videos I'm going to do in the future, we're going to totally focus on the cryptocurrency, right? So tell me about a little bit about it. What do you think about Bitcoin, and what is the future for the Bitcoin, my man?
Okay. Well, I mean, in my view, Bitcoin, in my opinion, it's like probably one of the most important inventions that I've ever came across. Because what this is a better way to store value than what people have previously been using, which is third-party institutions like centralized banking or centralized third-party payment processors. And essentially, like, the way that most people have been using their money is basically through a centralized source: banks, governments, people that control the money supply, and are basically able to manipulate the economy, and in some cases do really horrible things to people through control of the money supply. It's pretty obvious now that all the data has been leaked, that all the major world wars on this planet are basically manufactured through centralized banking cartels that use this really old strategy called divide and conquer, and they're using it on the people to basically have all the power for themselves and try to make everyone else subservient to them through control of this fiat money supply. Even in the United States of America, before 1913, all the money was backed by gold, and then the Federal Reserve came in and they took over it, and now basically all these like these depressions and financial collapses, they're all basically manufactured through third party centralized banking cartels that manipulate things to their advantage. So what Bitcoin is it's a technology that's very disruptive to the current banking establishment. Okay, if there's this analogy that I like to use, and this was an analogy done by Andreas Antonopoulos, who's a big Bitcoin advocate, but he says that the banks, it's basically like a dam in a river where these centralized banking cartels have created this dam where they're hoarding all the money for themselves and just and then Bitcoin is like someone that came along and drilled a hole in that dam, and now it's all leaking out, and the hole is getting bigger and bigger. And then all these other different cryptocurrencies came along: Ethereum, Dashcoin, Monero coin, which is even more anonymous than Bitcoin, and Zcash, which is more anonymous than Bitcoin, and they're drilling holes in the dam too. So at some point, will we see this whole dam collapse, and will we see the world adopt a completely new monetary system that's for the people, that's decentralized, that's not controlled and manipulated by a few top ruling elite? Maybe not. I don't know. But we may see a tipping point where the world wakes up and realizes that there's something better now. Another analogy that helps people understand this is, and you might remember this, but there was this music sharing website called Napster. This was back in the 90s, and at the time, music was something that was centralized, and it was distributed through retailers like Tower Records. And then this website came out. It was a music sharing website where everyone could get free music and exchange music, and this pissed off a lot of people. This website Napster got hit with lawsuits. Tower Records came after them. They completely shut them down. Okay, now that was a centralized music exchange, and then this new technology came out called BitTorrent, it basically decentralized the music, and that's why today everyone can get free music. No one complains about it anymore. It's just the way the world is, and people accept it. Okay, that's what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and decentralizing the money can do to the banks. It completely cuts out the need to use third-party banks like Bank of America and US Bank and Chase Bank and all this stuff. So it's very disruptive technology. It will piss a lot of people off, but then at the same time, it will empower a lot of other people and cause a big shift in power and wealth.
Thank you, man. That you explained it really, really well. That's I think that's why you and me are here, right? Because we believe in it, like in disruptive technology, and top of that, the way I look at myself, I've always been rebellious around things, like I always think differently. Like I always, Busha is my self-created name. Busha means unorthodox, going against the grain, like thinking unorthodox, like not thinking that other people are thinking, just thinking differently. That it could, and I guess the take on your banking, I think because you believe in the same concept in terms of the brain. Our brain is wired like so long to doing the same thing over and over. Like banking is around, I think, 100 years or so, right, or maybe less, right? And the day we born, and then we thinking centralized. Like the day we born, we start thinking centralized because everything is in a perspective or in a system where we learn the way the things are not. We learn the things that the government or the society asks to learn, and that's why people don't think differently, right? And then if they think differently, as you mentioned before, that you start making money online, and everybody was pointing finger on you that you should get a job 9 to 5, or you should get a job and other places, which make perfect sense. That because you know that you know. I heard you saying many times that you made every month over and over thousands of your dollar, and you repeated it, which makes perfect sense. That and this is why I think the decentralized technologies are gonna take to the world. Whoever start believing into it, and I always say to the people, this is the right time to get into it. And this is the right time. This is just a beginning. It's not even started yet. Like the projects are just flourishing, and it's a huge space. It's like the other analogy I use, that the way the internet started back in '90s, and nobody was believing in it. Everybody thinks that it's nothing going to happen. It's not going to change anything. Right now, we're talking to the whole world, not to our friends, to the whole world through this bloody smartphone, which is a little smartphone, and we're talking to everyone, right? And this is the kind of people who don't understand that this technology, the decentralized, is even gonna spread a massive message across the globe without any interruption, which is going to be huge. I totally agree with your analogy, Sean. And what do you think? Another question is for you, Sean. What do you think the adoption of, how do you see people adopting the Bitcoin in new future, or and what's their challenges around it? What's you come across that, what's your experience on that people where they understanding about it? Like, what's your experience on that?
Well, right now it's like the challenge that people face with it is that the techie part, there is a little
Yeah.
bit of studying, and you need to be somewhat tech savvy to learn how to do this. Downloading apps to your phones, learning about how to do the private keys and backup wallets, and there is a lot of data that you have to learn right now. So, but as the time goes on, the technology becomes more and more user friendly. Newer apps out, all these different problems. A lot of people, because the studying that you have to do. And another thing that, like, for anyone who's new to this is that you need to understand about Bitcoin is that there is a limited supply of Bitcoin. And once all the Bitcoin is mined up, then that's it. And this has created a deflationary effect. Unlike the fiat money, basically a bank can print out as much as they want, flood the economy, and dollar, which losing more and more of its purchasing power. But with Bitcoin,
I
because
think we're
there's a
cutting off Sean a little bit.
what's that? I'm not sure if you can hear me right now.
Yeah, yeah. Is that you feeling the connection as well? Like, are you feeling the disconnection or a little bit? Because I just felt a little bit disconnection. Are you okay now? Like,
Okay,
are you can
now you cut out for like 30 seconds, but you're back now.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. No dramas. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, and I guess the people who adopt the technology in the beginning, they will reap the big rewards. That it's always the case. If there is an unknown territory where people scared to go into it, that's where the entrepreneur is born. Where they always because they have a vision, like they have a vision, like yourself or myself, like we believe in it, that we got a vision that this is technology is going to be huge. It's not about going to be, it is already huge. You posted all the time that how the industry has gone from in 8 years, the cryptocurrency itself was $20 billion from 2009 to 2017. Right now, I think it's you on the other day you posted $137 billion, like another $117 billion are poured into the cryptocurrency, which is it's not just about money. Like how many people start believing into it. That it shows you that how many people started getting onto the border. People wanted to understand. People wanted to get into this. That they can adopt. Like I personally believe it's a still early stages for the adoption. And whoever is gonna jump into that, they're gonna reap the big rewards. And then the people who when Bitcoin started and the people who bought it for $100 or $200 or whatever, they become millionaires, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, go on.
Oh, but yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, in 2010, you could buy Bitcoins for pennies, like less than 10, like around 10 cents. And today, Bitcoin trades for over $4,000 a coin. So
That's right.
a lot of people have made a lot of money just by investing into Bitcoin in the early days, and and not just that, but it's like there's more to it than that. Because you think like people in third world countries that they can't, just drive down the street and open up a business bank account and get a debit card and all that stuff and get get a business loan. There's billions of people in this world who do not have access to the stuff that we have here in the United States, like Visa debit cards, credit cards, all this stuff. But now that this Bitcoin technology is out, and these billions of people in third world countries, they are at a point now where they have smartphones and internet connections. So now all they have to do to start taking part in business globally is download a Bitcoin wallet for free to their smartphone. And now essentially they are their own bank. Now they can send and receive money at the click of a button to anyone anywhere in the world, and there's nothing any bank or government can do to like freeze those transactions or stop those transactions from happening. So what it's doing is it's dissolving the boundaries that have divided us as a collective consciousness, and it's really like empowering the entire planet. And if you ask me, it's like um, money, exchanging money, whether it's the euro, the USD, or the yen, really what that is it's an exchange of energy, is what it is. And,
That's
it's
right.
allowing everyone to just become more globally connected and share value with people. And, it's just that's why I believe in it. Part of like business, as we're all collectively deciding that, hey, we need to evolve out of this old fiat money banking system that's caused so many problems in this world and adopt something newer and better that's more empowering to the people.
I agree, man. I believe I exactly believe in the same way that if if somebody has a smartphone and internet connection, that's all they need to start off business anywhere in the globe because it's so much easier. Even you want to let's say somebody believe in the idea and the person lives in somewhere in the remote, as long as their smartphone and the internet connection and they sell their ideas anywhere in the world, they can start receiving money before, like it's like kind of like a crowdfunding. They can start in the help of that without even having a bank account. This is just insane. Like I totally agree. And I actually reading last night, if you have like let's say, let's not talk about billion but millions of dollars, and you stored in a Trezor, the wallet, the hard wallet, and then and you remember the 12 word key, and the 12 words key is in your head, right? You can walk anywhere across the globe, right? Have $1 million in your head, and you can withdraw wherever you want. This is just a fantastic, like I was like thinking to myself, this is like, without any having a fear that how much money I'm carrying, like, it's just, it's just, and that's just a beginning. Like we don't know what's coming. There's a huge things that are coming in the future. That's just a Bitcoin. Like, Ethereum is rolling out, as you said, Zcash is rolling out. And the new technology AOTA is coming out. Like it's just insane what's happening there. My man, I'm gonna ask you what's your take on altcoins, like another cryptocurrency. Um, uh, you and me are crazy. We can talk for days, right? So I'm just gonna keep it to the question so we can finish it off as well. So what do you think about that other altcoins, like another cryptocurrency apart from Bitcoin? What's your take on it?
Well, I think Bitcoin kind of like laid out the roadmap, and now we see all these other cryptocurrencies coming on board that are solving different problems in the world and bringing on new features and doing things that Bitcoin doesn't do. Like, for example, we're seeing cryptocurrencies coming out that are allowing for programmable money, being able to write these smart contracts into the money and things like that. Now, that's something that Bitcoin doesn't do. Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts. But Bitcoin is simple. It's very simple and it's reliable. And we do see the early signs of mainstream adoption. You're starting to see businesses with signs in the windows that say Bitcoin accepted here, Litecoin accepted here, Ethereum accepted here. So with these other coins like Ethereum that have these smart contracts, it's allowing for people to solve different problems that Bitcoin doesn't solve. So like let's say like for example like you could like a will or a trust, you could like program a will or a trust like into a programmable money. And like you could, from what I understand, and I could be mistaken on this, like I'm not like a computer programmer, but from what I understand, like you can do things with some of these technologies where you could program it to like on the certain day on a certain year, it's going to start sending X amount of value to someone else's wallet on the 5th of every month, and it's just going to run that program, and it's encrypted, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop that from happening. So we're gonna see a lot of like problems getting solved, like because people go like to court over like wills and like who gets to own this and what when someone dies, and so there's all these different problems that could potentially get solved with all these different technologies that are coming out. Now, the thing with like this programmable money like Ethereum, we have seen instances where people put in the code and they messed up, and then a bunch of money got stolen because of this. Another analogy, it's kind of like, and I remember this, like when I first got introduced to Ethereum, there was this token on the Ethereum blockchain called the DAO. And I guess from what I understand, someone like programmed it to do something in some way, shape, or form. In other words, it's almost like they wrote up a coupon that was not very intelligently done, and then someone redeemed it and stole like millions of dollars from it. And then that caused the value of Ethereum to crash down to like, I forget, I think it was around like $8 a coin or something. But that was good for me because I actually bought a bunch of it. I bought a bunch of Ethereum while it was around like $8, $10 a coin. And now we see Ethereum trading for like $300 a coin. So
$300,
so it's still at a point where like there's a lot of glitches and a lot of bugs and a lot of things that need to be worked out and things that need to be improved on. But we see the space evolving and growing exponentially regardless. When I got into Bitcoin and Ethereum, Bitcoin was trading for around $450 a coin. Ethereum was trading for around $10 a coin. And it's been about 18 months now, I think, since I got into it. And look what's happened. I mean, the Ethereum at its highest point was trading for $400 a coin, and Bitcoin at its highest point, we've seen up to almost $4,500 a coin. So, the first thing that really got me turned on to this stuff was about a month after I acquired my Bitcoins through an affiliate program. The value doubled. It literally went from like 450 a coin to $800 a coin within like a week to 2 weeks time. And I was like, wow, like that's so awesome. Like if I would have held my money in a fiat money bank like US Bank or Bank of America, my money wouldn't, it would have just sat there and done nothing. But because I was storing it in a decentralized Bitcoin wallet, my value doubled. I doubled my purchasing power. So, um, I mean, even though like we've seen all these crazy volatile moves, we've seen Bitcoin shoot up super high, we've seen it crash down. Regardless of all the ups and downs, if the trend continues, if the same trend continues that's happened over the past 7 or 8 years with Bitcoin, we're probably going to see Bitcoin hit 10,000 a coin, 15,000 a coin, 20,000 coin. I mean, this is completely like uncharted territory. We've never seen anything like this to compare it to in the past. So we have no idea how valuable some of these coins are going to be over the next 5 to 10 years.
Um, Thank you for the answer. I'm the same, man. Like a lot of people ask me that I say, what do you think the value of the coin is going to be? And I always say, like, I don't know, for some reason, this is just a me. I'm a more into research the coin deeply and understand it, and then I go and buy it. I don't buy because the market is saying it, and I don't look at the values going higher. Like as long as the technology makes sense to me, as long as on the other day we were talking on the phone, on Facebook call, that as long as you're saying the coin have a unique properties, which is solving the problem for the society, that's where you go and buy it. Another thing is that it's an unknown territory. It's just uncharted territory. Like, it's not like stocks and bonds where you have a history for 200 years or 150 years. There's no history, right? There's just
Yeah.
like, it's just a more of that how the paradigm shift is happening, how the conscious of the human being is we getting into the new era. Like for example, like we had a big issue here probably a week ago or 2 weeks ago about Uber and taxis. Where taxis are blocking on the airport because the Uber is getting onto the airport. And I was thinking to myself, it's not about Uber or taxi, it's about technology. It's the cutting edge technology. Uber is just closing the gap what taxi didn't have. As long as taxi can
Yep.
fix those things, right, there's no issue with that. Another example, like I'm not pro taxi or pro Uber. I don't give a damn, right? I'm all about technology. Who can give the best service to the customer, right? So that's is all about. The another thing people need to understand, there's no red tape in it. Like a Uber got a less, still got red tape as compared to taxi got a lot of red tape in it, where a lot of people get cut on from there, right? Same thing with the Airbnb bed and breakfast, right? It's just, and then I think Amazon is coming to Australia as well. Like they're gonna put a lot of businesses on the side as well. What are we gonna do then? It's not about which business is coming. It's all about who can provide better service with the cutting edge technology. That's the main thing. And the decentralized technology, they're bringing this stuff in. They're bringing this technology in, which is whoever understand it, jumping on it. That's the first movers. As I said, it's an unknown territory. But again, as long as you understand what's coming, that's why you're gonna reap the reward, right? So that's exactly. I totally agree with you, my man. And I know that a lot of people don't understand much about Bitcoin mining, but you involved in a Bitcoin mining as well, and I did in the past as well. If you can shed a light a little bit on Bitcoin mining, because you explained that the Bitcoins are limited. It's only 21 million. You cannot go and print Bitcoin because it doesn't work that way, right? It's a program of money, right? So can you a little bit talk about Bitcoin mining so people can understand what Bitcoin mining is?
Yeah.
You don't
So
need to go
Bitcoin
so
mining,
deep.
What's that?
You don't need to go. You don't need to go into deep into it because we do another session on it. But just like a quickly,
Okay.
so people can, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, Bitcoin mining is the process of confirming a transaction. So, if I wanted to send value to someone somewhere in the world, in order for that transaction to confirm, there are basically all over the world do this thing called mining, which involves solving a math problem. Okay, once the math problem is solved, the transaction gets confirmed. And as more and more of these Bitcoins get mined up, the difficulty of the math problems increases. So more processing power is utilized in order to mine Bitcoins. And every time a transaction is mined or confirmed, it releases more Bitcoin into the Bitcoin economy. Up until all 21 million Bitcoins have been mined. So because there's a limited supply, this, in my opinion, this is why we've seen a deflationary effect. And because this whole mining process has to be done, it adds value to Bitcoins because now there's work that has to be done in order to produce new coins. And when Bitcoin first started, very little processing power was required to confirm the transactions. You could mine Bitcoin with your laptop computer, but now, because the difficulty has increased, you have to buy special hardware with way more processing power in order to confirm these transactions fast enough. And in fact, now there's so much processing power required to mine Bitcoin that the machinery will heat up so much that you have to have an air conditioning unit to cool the hardware, just to maintain it, or else the things will overheat. So it's costing, the electricity costs have gone up, the air conditioning costs have gone up to maintain your Bitcoin mining farms. But at the same time, this has caused the value of the coins to increase dramatically. So that's kind of what's going on with the whole mining process. People go, they build these huge warehouses, out in the middle of nowhere where it's cheap rent. A lot of them are up in like Iceland where they have, it's easier to cool the mining farms, and they just load up just racks of these, the mining hardware. And these things are just going to town, confirming all the transactions. And these Bitcoin mining farms, they're all over the world, okay? People are setting them up in their homes. People are building warehouses with them. People are just setting up little rigs in their closet. Some people just have a little mining rig. Some people have huge operations. But nonetheless, that's the process involved in confirming the transactions. It's a decentralized network. It's not a single bank that confirms the transactions. It's the entire global community that's doing it. That's why no bank or government can control the transactions. The only way they would, if some government or bank stepped in and wanted to completely obliterate Bitcoin, they would have to disable every computer in the world. And if one computer with that had the blockchain and all that data stored on that, if one computer survived, it could back up the entire network all over again. So I don't think the banks or the governments or the people that are trying to control the world even have the manpower to stop what's happening right now with decentralizing the money.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like the way I look at it, if you want to get rid the Bitcoin out of the world, you're gonna wipe out the entire internet off the planet, right? Which is not gonna happen, right? So now you explained it beautifully that there's a number of nodes. The way I look at it, there's a number, like there's millions of nodes across the globe when the transaction happened, and then all those nodes. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another term that's used, is they call them nodes.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So all the nodes, they run to solve that problem, and whoever the nodes solve that problem, and that node got rewarded with the 12.5 Bitcoin, right? So that's
Exactly.
And that's the simplest way we can explain it, right? But we do another session on got deep into it, right? So let's move on a little bit. Do you think that people need more education on cryptocurrency, which is we're doing that, right? What's your take on it? Like, people need more education on cryptocurrency?
Well, yeah. I mean, I definitely think everyone needs more education on it because it is a better store of value, and it's a better way to exchange value than what people are currently using. And now with the internet and being able to decentralize all the data, and with all this communication technology we have, we see people getting educated at an exponential rate. I think that's why the cryptocurrency market capitalization is, I think now today it's somewhere around 140 something billion dollars. And,
Ooh.
just less than a year ago, it was less than $100 billion. So,
Oh no,
again, it's like, at what
it
point
was like
will
3 months ago, $20 billion, like 120 billion rolled in 3 months.
yeah, so it's been crazy, with what's been happening with all these coins.
Uh,
It's almost like there's there's this one YouTuber who uses this analogy, and he says a rising tide raises all ships. And that's kind of what we've been seeing happening with, like the top 10 to 20 cryptocurrencies, is
yeah.
that they've all increased in value. It's so much different than like the forex trading market where they're trading off fiat money and stuff like that. Again, it's like we don't really have anything to compare it to. It's completely uncharted territory here. But I mean, I've made like some really good profits just buying and holding these things. I mean, I don't even have to be like a day trader sitting there playing the markets all day. Like I'm just
That's right.
buying different ones that I believe in and hanging on to them. And like almost all of the ones that I bought have increased in value. There was a few that I bought at the wrong time, the few bad trades I've made, but the good ones have outweighed the bad ones by a long shot.
Well, it's the how the Warren Buffett say. He said you're not gonna make a profit in every business. You're gonna make a profit of some of the businesses, and that's gonna take you across the board. I totally agree. And then, this is a new era where this is a new stocks and bonds, but in the technology, right? Whoever understand it, it's and the way I look at it, not even 10% people on it yet. So it's an unknown territory. This is the right time. The way I look at it, it's the right time to educate yourself, right? The way I look at it, the more education you get, and you can, without, like I did a live on maybe a couple of days ago, right? How can you break the fear and smash into it? The way analogy I used, that I said that when I was a young boy, I was scared and horrified by the dark, and then I never told my parents. And when I used to get into dark, like at 10 o'clock at night, and then I just scream like it's really loud, and I say, anybody want to fight with me? Then I scream, and then after, once I did that, the fear is gone, and I can actually see through the dark. And you're not gonna believe, Sean, this is the same analogy I use right now. That if I see, okay, I want to do video in public, right? And I'm thinking what I'm gonna do it. And if I get horrified, I'm not gonna do it because the people watching and this and that. Then I use the same analogy that the fear is not there. I'm creating a fear, right? And the best thing to do with the fear is to just get into it, stay into the fear, and smash it and do it. And that's the only way you can smash the fear off, right? Similar thing. How are using this one with the cryptocurrency? If you want to understand cryptocurrency, if you want to get out of the fear of the cryptocurrency, the only way to get out of the fear of the cryptocurrency, to buy some for $10, $20, $30, and see how you can use it. All right. And then as you explained that, with the trades, that you made some bad trades, or you made some really good trades with the cryptocurrency, which is not even a day trader, just a holding it up. This is just great, Sean. I totally agree with that. Sean, I'm just gonna move forward. So what you can, like, what's your message to the people, to getting them educated on cryptocurrency? How can they can learn cryptocurrency? What's your you can just guide them in the right direction.
Um, I would say the best thing to do to start getting into it is to go on YouTube and just start watching documentaries. Just start watching them. Just binge watch them. And at some point, you'll probably have like an aha moment where you get it. And then, from then on out, I mean, then you can start sharing what you're learning through your own YouTube channel. And then, that's kind of like how I did my marketing business with all this is like I would just find other people that mentored me, and as I was learning, I just started to share the knowledge that I was getting through my own YouTube channel. And that way, like everyone rises up together. Um, but we live in a time where like you can learn anything you want from the internet. Uh, I mean, there's so many entrepreneurs and mentors out there that are just putting all their training out on YouTube for free, or even just in a book that you can order for like 10 bucks on Amazon, or even in a course you can take online. You can take an online marketing course now or a social media course for just a fraction of what it would cost to to go to college now. And the knowledge that you're getting, like you could literally apply this immediately and start making money. So
Beautiful,
it's all out
beautiful,
there,
man.
all you got to do is reach out and get it.
Beautiful, man. That's the great message. Like, it couldn't be any better. This is just in a few lines, but it's fantastic. Like, there is no other way. That's the way I look at it. The time and the money, the effort you put it in, that's what the rewards you get. We're living in a society where we want to have the reward without putting the efforts and work in, which is not going to happen. You gotta put the efforts and the time into it. Again, same thing exactly. I actually started watching documentaries when I started into Bitcoin, and I get exactly. I had an aha moment. Yes, this is something like it really clicked to me, and this is going to be the future, and it is the future, right? No, I totally agree, Sean. Thank you for the answer for that. What are the books like I saw that you I'm a reader as well. What are the books like you recommend maybe one, two, or three like not just in cryptocurrency but in general people get self motivated and move forward. What are the books you can recommend to the people, Sean?
Okay. Some of the books that had like the biggest impact on me was Rich Dad Poor Dad and the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, and
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which was actually written in 1937, but to this day is probably still one of the top recommended books from entrepreneurs. There was another really good one called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson,
What's
and
this called?
The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and then the 10x Rule by Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
And then there's another one which, and this is I definitely get this one. It's called The Millionaire Booklet by Grant Cardone. It's a little tiny booklet. It's only 40 pages long, but it packs so much value in those 40 pages, and you can order it for like $5.
Oh, great, great. Do you know what? I'm gonna show that book, the little book. Actually, I'm just looking into my bag. Hey, gosh,
Yeah, that one
this
there.
is the guys. This is the one
That's
you're
it.
talking about, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's an awesome book.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you can read in less than I think 2 hours. Yeah, it's only 64 pages, and I
Yeah, you
think
can
it's
read it in one evening.
huh.
I said, yeah, you could sit down and read it in one evening at the coffee shop.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And actually, this one has a quite an impact on me because he break down like a certain amount of money, like how he break it down 1 million, and then he break it down into that how you need in a one day to actually score that amount of money. It makes sense. It's a little steps, like it's not a lot of crazy stuff in there, but it just like get you started straight away. Thank you for actually I have all of the books apart from the Slide Edge. Probably I'll look into the Slide Edge as well. But all of the books you mentioned, I read through it. Like it's fantastic. I think the books are something which is if you cannot approach a mentor on a physical level, you can approach them on an intellectual level, which are the books that if you get to the point where you have that money and you can have the mentors in your life, they take you from where you are to fill that gap and where you want to be. I fully believe in the mentorship. It's just one of the top thing. And I always say you're my first online mentors that I look on and started my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. And another question
Man.
I'm gonna question I'm gonna ask. What's your message? Which is, I think you covered it. Like, what's your message to people who want to start online business, or they're thinking to can they make money online? How they can start? I mean, obviously you mentioned in the beginning. If you can quickly brief it out, that if somebody thinking to start a business online, making money from the smartphone or from the laptop, how can they do it? Yes, just briefly explain it, please.
Okay, well, first I would, find a product or service that you believe in. Find a company that you believe in, and then I would say start the YouTube channel. YouTube and Facebook are like two of my favorite platforms. Instagram is also a really powerful platform, but you don't need to be like an expert on every single social media platform. You really can start with just like one or two, is all you really need. And then you got to have, the athlete mindset is what I call it, because when you start doing an online business, you're probably not going to make a whole bunch of money really, really fast, because there's this learning curve that you have to go through. Just like if you were to try to be a professional athlete, you think if you're training in a sport, when you first start training, you're not worried about making money. You're just worried about developing the skill. And that's the same mindset that you have to apply to the online business. And this is also a reason why a lot of people quit when they first get started, is they quit because they're not making money. But you need to understand that you have to go through this learning curve. And once you go through the learning curve and you develop the skills and the knowledge, then the money will follow. But a lot of people give up right before they get there.
Mate, this is great take. This is bloody great take. I love that, man. I love that. Athlete mindset. I totally agree. I totally agree, because I love sports as well, man. I think um anybody, because I used to be 82 kilo like 7 years ago, and I lost it. I put it at 25 kilo and I've gone up to 105. And I get to the point I said, you know what, I'm gonna smash it, because I need my body back, I need my energy back. So I smashing that weight on, and I'm now 90 kilo, and I smashed a 15 kilo in 4 months, and I'm not stopping until I get into 80 or 77.5. And you exactly right that you need to have an athlete mindset, because every time you wake up from the bed, and then you were looking forward, like if you don't have the right mindset, you're not gonna do it. Same in business, like if you don't have the right mindset, you're not gonna do it, right? I mean, look, you've seen it, like when I started only 4 months ago in starting my YouTube channel, and I'll start you doing a small snippets of Facebook Live. Right now, I'm doing every single day's Facebook Lives to what I believe in and what I teach, what I'm passionate about it. And I think that's where the mentorship comes into, where Jack and Aaron, my mentors from Melbourne State, they laid out the plan for me, that how can you go about it? How can you tell people what you do and what you're good at, which is fantastic. And these are the platforms like Facebook and other social medias. And you mentioned really well that get onto one social media and master that, and then before you move on to the second or the third one, like and I think I think you probably agree with that as well, that Facebook and the YouTube go side by side. Like whatever you do on Facebook, you can check it out on YouTube. That can go side by side. And another thing is, I love lives right now. I think it's a beautiful thing to do, like to to the people who wanted to get into online business, or they want to start their offline business. It motivates them to actually watch this live and get motivated and get started. It doesn't matter what they believe in, whether it's a service or a product. Thank you for answering that question, Sean. Sean, this is I want to ask you this question for you. What you seeing yourself for next 5 years? Well, we talked about a little bit on the phone call that as you are a freepreneur, it's like you love to have your kick the butt, like kick it in the butt like a 9 to 5. Don't want to do that. Just believe in to be freedom. Freedom is the goal. So how you see yourself next 5 years? Before you answer that, I'm seeing you to become a millionaire in cryptocurrency, man. The way you're going, right? Tell me what's your take for next 5 years? What are you seeing yourself to the next 5 years, brother?
Next 5 years, I just want to be traveling the world and, sharing as much value with everyone all over the world as I can, whether it's in person or through social media. I want to travel the world and just expand my consciousness as much as I can, and then help everyone, transition from the old corrupt money system into this new decentralized form of money that I'm that I'm such an advocate about. That's what I want to do. I just want to share as much value as I can. I want to wake up as much people as I can and help people, transition into this new crazy cryptocurrency decentralized money thing that.
Oh, beautiful, man. Like, the great message you sent here, the value. I think that's the most authentic, and that's the great what you are. The great attribute you can give it to people to value. And let me tell you one thing: you are putting value out there. Like the training you put out there. You're letting people know. And I like your disclaimers as well. The baby, the crybabies. The people like I mean, who
lose money.
I like look. I look. Everybody lose money online, right? And that when you first start out, you don't know, the things you don't understand, and you learn, right? But as soon as you start learning, and then you start making money on the, which makes sense, right? But I like your disclaimers, man. Babies, that's just a fantastic, man, fantastic. Sean, we're gonna wrap up. I think I kept you longer, Sean. I think probably more than an hour, I guess I'll say.
We're good.
Yeah. Guys, Sean been very flexible because I didn't set any rules that or he set the rules that you gotta be there on this time of that, but he's pretty open about the time as well, and I really appreciate it, and I'm very grateful you come on my channel. This is the first interview actually you call. We're doing it on live, and I'm gonna bring more people on here. So, and I'll bring Sean back on as well, because he just not just believe in the decentralized technology. He believes in he's a big believer of consciousness, and I'm the same. And I because if you start thinking that way, it's like a law of attraction in the universe. That that's how the people you attract, and then the good people, you connect with each other and learn from each other. Which is fantastic, and thank you for sharing your so Sean, what's like, are you more getting into investing, or apart from the do you think you'll be getting into real estate or things like that, and later on the track, or
Yeah, eventually that's definitely something I'm probably going to get into. I mean, right now I'm mainly just focusing on cryptocurrencies. But again, it's like, I don't see any reason to limit myself to only cryptocurrencies. So yeah, eventually I do plan to diversify my investment portfolio into real estate, and who knows what other investment opportunities are going to present themselves, you know, in the 21st century, the world's changing so fast. We have no idea what else there's going to be.
And look, I'm big, you big advocate for cryptocurrency. I'm a big advocate of the cryptocurrency because the moment you start understanding that, that's where you want to be, right? Sean, before we go, I want people to connect with you. If the people want to learn from you, if they want to, what are the channels they can go on to it? How can they connect with you? So they can learn from you, or the affiliate program you do. If there anybody interested in it, they can get on board. Can you please tell people how can they connect with you, whether it's a Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, and if they want to see your Playboy side, how they can get into Snapchat as well. Can you
Yeah,
please?
okay. I don't really use Snap for being. I mainly just use it for like the party life out here in Vegas is what my Snapchat is. But my marketing site is SeanLogan.net is my website, and then I have of course my YouTube channel. If you just type my name into YouTube, you can find all my videos, and then my Facebook extension is Sean Logan Marketing. So I check my Facebook very often. So if you message me on there, I'll usually get back to you within like 24 hours or so.
Man, Sean, I couldn't believe that, I got connected with you in January. Um, how we connected in a way that we, doing a live Facebook video. This is fantastic, man. I'm so grateful, man. Like, and I thank you being, it's been a learning curve for me from you. And then, and I'll see you as a first online mentor. I learned a lot of things from you. I'm really grateful, man. I really thank you for that. And guys, get on to Mr. Sean Logan if you want to learn marketing strategies, how to roll in people into your services or products. How can you do that? He's a master of that. Thank you for coming on my channel, my brother. And I guess you'll be happy to. Because our main focus is going to be cryptocurrencies, and because it's a more like an introductory that who Sean Logan is, and and myself that and then people can learn more and more about cryptocurrencies in the future, so we can share the insight, how where the world is going, and how it's changing, how the paradigm shift is happening, and where is going to be. I guess you'll be happy to share in the future as well, Sean. I'm pretty sure.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure.
Cheers, buddy. And Sean, yeah, I'll get in touch, and then I'll let you know when next time, and then we hit on Facebook and share more information. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'm grateful. And before you go, what you grateful today? Like is just one question I ask. That what you grateful today, Sean? I learned this thing from when I was growing up, and be grateful something in a day you live in. Same thing I learned from Tony Robbins as well, and Tim Ferriss. That if you're grateful, that's the way to move forward. What you grateful today, my man?
I'm grateful for the global connectivity that we all have access to now. It's something that wasn't there when I was growing up, and now that we have it, it's just been such a blessing to connect with all these different people and get so much value from all these people in the world that I would normally never even be able to connect with if it wasn't for all this communication technology that we have. And I'm also very grateful to have, I'm grateful for Bitcoin to have found me, because it was completely unintentional when I started getting this stuff. Like I said, I was using PayPal, and I started getting commissions in the form of it. Am I still on? Sorry, I cut out for a minute. But yeah, I'm just grateful that it found me, because it's given me a lot more freedom in my life, and I'm grateful for the freedom.
Beautiful, my man. Beautiful. All right, guys. connect with Sean Logan, learn some marketing strategies from your product and services. He's the man to, you can learn a lot. He's loves sports, and thank you for my channel, man. And I'll see you soon, my brother. Look after yourself. All the
See you later,
best,
man. I'll
brother.
be in touch.
See you. Cheers, buddy. Hey guys, that was my man Sean Logan, and you will see more and more stuff coming in the future. I'm bringing different people from the different side of it, and then I'm gonna create a community where we can learn from each other. Where Sean had explained as well that he's been grateful that we're learning from each other as on a global basis. Where internet gave us the permission to talk freely what we believe in, and this is a bullshit space, and you keep watching, guys, this, and I'm gonna bring a lot of cool stuff for you guys to learn more stuff and share what I do and what other people do. And I really grateful that Sean Logan came into to my channel, the first interview. I think we did a great job. In the end, guys, I'm gonna say to you that I'm rolling out because I'm a big advocate of cryptocurrencies, and I'm rolling out a course for 2 people for next 30 days in cryptocurrencies, what cryptocurrencies are, what's the how you can buy them, what other exchanges are there, and how can you store them safely, how can you use them in the future or right now, and what are the every cryptocurrency got a technology behind it, what are the technology behind it, and what are the investment strategies you can use to get into cryptocurrency. I'll be teaching in that course next 30 days for 2 people. Get on board, hit me on Messenger. I'm more than happy to have a chat on it. And then we move forward from there. Don't forget, and tag your friend, or who will be interested or into learning into the cryptocurrencies. Even in the future, I'm going to bring people who have a different businesses. They're doing a different businesses. What are their challenges are, how they're overcoming those challenges, because end of the day, it's all about transformation, because I'm a man of all about transformation. That how can you transform if you are in a rut, if you are in a position where you think you can't get out, what are the possibility, what are the things you can do to get out from that position. So that's why I'm bringing more people in the future to learn new strategies, to learn new stuff, like you can enhance your skills and knowledge and move forward into the future. All right, guys, hit me if you want to learn about cryptocurrencies. As I said, I'm rolling out a course for 2 people. Yeah, hit me on Messenger or send me a private message. You guys have a great day, and I'm bringing more people like Sean Logan, and Sean Logan will be coming back on my channel, back on, talk about more about cryptocurrencies and introduce to you guys to the crypto world, so you can start rolling in some money into mullahs into your pocket. You guys have a great day. Whoever get onto board and watch us live, thank you. I really appreciate it. Joe, Aman, and all other people who were on before. I really appreciate it. Come on board. Cheers, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. This is a Bullshot Space. You're watching a Bullshot Chahoda from Adelaide, from Australia. I'm bringing more stuff for you guys. Peace out, guys. Comment below if you want to know more about the cryptocurrency course. Cheers. See you guys.